Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So I haven't filmed for you guys for a little while. I did just get back from the Dominican. Today is Thursday and our flight got in at like 11:30 on Saturday night, so we didn't even get home till 3 in the morning. I'm so happy that I had filmed those videos and like pre-uploaded them so that I was able to like make them, public on YouTube when I was away. That was really good. I'm really glad I did that. So I just wanted to film like a couple videos today just because I haven't in a while, and I have today off work. I go back in tomorrow night shift, work all nights, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and then I'm going to a cottage for a couple days on like Monday, Tuesday next weekend, so I didn't know when I would get a chance to film again for you guys. So I thought I would do a couple today for you. So for this one, I just thought it would be kind of fun. I haven't done one in a while to do kind of like a chit chat, get ready with me, come along with me while I try out new makeup. Some of this makeup, you're going to recognize as stuff that I've gotten in like top boxes and Ipsies and stuff like that. Some of this makeup I have tried before, but it's still relatively new to me, and it's definitely stuff that you guys haven't seen, or it's stuff that I haven't tried in a while, because like I don't have new everything. I don't have a new primer, so I'm going to be using an older one. I don't have new concealer, so same thing there. But as much new stuff as I could, just to kind of like show you guys some new stuff, try some new stuff, see how I like it, see if I don't like it. And there's like one thing on here that I've literally had for like months, and that's my Born to Run palette. I've literally had this for like, I don't know, a month, 2 months, something like that, a long time. And like, I've never even like swatched it, touched it, nothing. So I thought today would be a good day to do it. Also, if there's like shimmer and stuff all over my hand, it's because I did go to Sephora today. I had to pick up a birthday gift for somebody, and while I was in there, I was just swatching tons of stuff. And the one thing I really wanted, because I've been really good about not buying makeup lately, but the one thing I really wanted for myself, they didn't even have in store. So that's kind of good. But yeah, so I guess I'll just get going. So first things first, for primer today, I'm going to be using my Natasha Denona Face Glow Primer. This is a hydrating primer. I've had this for a while now. It doesn't have an expiration date on it. I'm sure it does expire, but I just would rather use it up because it was super expensive when I bought it. And it doesn't smell off, and the texture hasn't gone off or anything. It is sticking to my nose though. It is a thicker texture, like it's almost like whipped. So whenever I do use it, I do find that like you have to rub it and work it in between your fingertips before you actually put it on. But whatever, it's an okay primer. It's not the best primer I've ever used. It's not the worst primer I've ever used. For someone like me, where I like to be glowy and I do need a more heavy moisturizing primer, it is pretty good for that. But I mean, take it or leave it as you will. You know, is it worth the money? Probably not. Are there better primers out there for less that you get more? Definitely. But since I have it, I might as well use it up. And I just have my sunglasses on my head just because I'm kind of using them almost to hold back my hair, because I didn't bring any of my headbands over yet, but just in case you were wondering. So the next thing I would like to use, if I could find it, and I thought I had it right here, is this Dr. Brandt Needles No More Baggage under eye stuff. I've got this in, I think, my BoxyCharm. I have tried it once before, but I think I tried it wrong, so I want to try it again. So it's like this kind of color, and it is pretty thick, but it says to like warm it up in between your fingers and then put it on. So we'll see if that brings down the bags under my eyes, because I am tired. I have not been sleeping well since even there, we honestly only slept for like 5 or 6 hours a night, just because we wanted to get as much time on the beach as was humanly possible. So I haven't really fixed my sleep schedule yet. And it's not going to get fixed anytime soon, just with being on shift and stuff like that. So my bags under my eyes are brutal right now. Next thing I'm going to use, as this is not new, I use it all the time, is my Painterly paint pot from MAC. I have like 6 or 7 paint pots, but a lot of them are just like, you know, shimmer or darker colors or stuff like that, which are good for if you're going for a specific look where you know what specific colors you use. Like if I were going to do a smoky eye, it would be a good idea to use one of the gray toned ones just to start you off with a little bit of a buildable point of like darkness. But since I don't really know what I'm going to do, it just makes sense to go with like a more neutral one that's almost the same color as my natural lid, if you know what I mean. All right, so we are going to use the Born to Run palette. And the other thing that I want to try and use just to see how it is I got this one single pan, just ignore these ones, of, I think it was It Cosmetics in, I don't know, an Ipsy or a BoxyCharm or something. So I want to try that to see how it is because I remember swatching it and not liking it. And I am going to be getting my Ipsy pretty soon, so I feel like I should try it out at least once before I pass judgment on it. So first thing that I am going to do, if I can find the brush that I'm looking for, is I'm going to lay down like a base color just to sort of have something to build on. So I think we're going to play with this color here. This is in Weekender. It's just a really soft color. Oh, there's a lot of kick up with this palette. Like, even as I'm putting it on, I can see like poofs of smoke going everywhere, which is not great, but whatever. Like, it's not like horrible, horrible, horrible. Like, you can't see mad kick up on the palette yet, but, and it's also like, I've seen the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette, which is beautiful looking, but I've seen people do it and they dip their brush in and like half the product disappears, which is just mind-boggling because like they're not inexpensive palettes. They're no, you know, Natasha Denona $300 palettes, but they're still not inexpensive. So it's like you got to think about that and stuff. So like even before I buy stuff, I try and get as much research on it as possible if it's available. Having said that, the Too Faced Tutti Frutti collection just released yesterday, and I will tell you guys now, I bought a ton of things from it. The one thing that I did really want to try that I couldn't get was the setting spray. I couldn't get it. It was sold out, but I believe, sorry, I just have an itch. I believe it's a permanent line. So if I do decide that I really, really like all the products in it, ultimately I don't need another setting spray right now. If in the end I decide I like it, I can get it in the future. It's not a huge deal. All right, where do I want to go from here? See, because I have to put that like deeper, darker color in, I think I kind of want to go with something like Still Shot and Riff, and then some Ignite or Smog, and kind of use like that purple, and if it doesn't work, blend in with this Guilt Trip color. So it's kind of like more neutrals and then like a pop of that purple up in the corner. So I think I am going to stick with that. Let's put Riff. This is like a bigger brush, and I kind of like to use it just to build my crease all over. It lifts it a little bit higher. I don't really use this for any like detail or definable color, just as more of like an all in the crease color before I go in and build up with additional color. Kind of gives me something to blend into, which I like. And I find that maybe it's the brush I'm using, but I find that this shadow isn't kicking up quite as much as the other one. But again, it could be the brush I'm using. It could be how I'm picking it up. I don't really know. And after looking at this palette, like it is really, really pretty. But the one thing I will say is like these two colors are quite similar. They might have been able to slip something else in. Also, those two colors, quite similar. They are different finishes. So I guess I see that side of it as well. But what I really like about this, a lot of neutral colors, a lot of easy colors to build with. Then you have some of like your funner colors that aren't like so overwhelmingly bright that you're like, I don't ever know where I'm going to wear that kind of a color. I actually did just buy a palette like that today because I wanted the Natasha Denona like tropical palette. What is on my hand? I don't even know what that is. Makeup of sorts. I wanted that really pretty tropical one, but it was just so much money and I couldn't justify spending that much on a palette that I knew I would only use like once in a blue moon because of the colors in it. And also, honestly, when I was in store and swatching it, they weren't as amazing as I think I thought that they would be. So I skipped out on it, but I found another palette that like had similar-ish colors, probably not the same, and it's a company I've never tried before. It was, I've actually got it down here, so give me 2 seconds. So it's the Violet Voss Flamingo eyeshadow palette. So if you guys are interested in seeing me try a look with this or play with it, let me know and I will. I just got it today, so, you know, I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. I wanted to play with this one first because it's been sitting in my collection for, like I said, probably a good month, and I just kind of forgot about it because it wasn't in my palette drawer. I had it sort of tucked away elsewhere. So I would remember to use it, and then I forgot to use it. I don't know how that works. So next I'm going to use this color in Still Shot. It's kind of like this corally orange sort of a tone. Just right there. And I am going to put that in my crease as well. Okay, so we've got some color building in there. Now what do I feel like doing? I'm trying to think. It is a little bit deeper than I actually expected it to be, which is kind of nice. I think that's just the way that I blended the colors. Like the colors aren't muddying up, which is really, really nice as well. I do, like Urban Decay is notoriously good for their shadow palettes. I mean, they have all the Naked palettes, which are like huge, huge staples in most makeup collectors' collections, mine for sure. So this was probably a good idea, and I think it was. Obviously, I haven't played with it quite enough to know how all the shimmers work, how all the colors work, but just off first impressions, I am really liking it. So I think I'm going to go in with this color Smog and just kind of deepen the outer area, and then we're going to try and pick up some of that purple and sort of see how that goes. So I'll just put that right on the edge, kind of in like a little V shape, like that. And I know originally, I think I said I was going to do like a whole video on this palette, but I honestly waited too long and there's a million videos out there now. So I figured like, why would you guys really want to see one more? So I didn't bother. But if you do want me to do it for like that Violet Voss palette, or if you really want me to do it for this too and like swatch all the colors and see how they all play and try like a bolder look with it, I am going out today. Hence why I'm kind of doing a more subdued look. I'm definitely down to do that as well. You guys just have to let me know what you want to see. So now I am going to take this color here. This is an I think it's IT Cosmetics. And it's called Changing to Flats. I actually have the little case right here. Yeah, it isn't IT oh, no, it's not IT Cosmetics. Oh, it's Say. So sorry for everybody that I keep saying it's IT Cosmetics, IT Cosmetics. I hate to like bring down a brand. I'm not even trying because I remember swatching this and thinking it's not that good. So let's try it now and we'll see how good. It's not IT Cosmetics, it's Say Cosmetics. Sorry about that. My apologies. So it picks up okay on the brush. Yeah. I mean, it just kind of goes on patchy and splotchy, and then it blends out to nothing. Like, there is not much of a difference from where I did put it to where I didn't put it. So I think my first initial impressions on that were kind of right. I'm going to just tap on it now and not even go further with it. But that's good to know because I do have to do my like BoxyCharm and stuff like that probably later today. So it's good that I know for sure how that works and that I don't like it. So then since there's no purple stuck there, which was kind of like my thought of like having to use this one, I'm just going to go in with this color here, which is Good As Gone. It's like a deeper brown sort of a tone. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for with that purple, was for it to do something like that. My eye is looking like a disaster right now. This seems to happen to me more often than not when I try new palettes, is that I want to get into as many colors and as many finishes as I possibly can, and then I just sort of ruin what my intentions were. But this is also the reason that I do my eyes before I do my concealer, my face makeup, because if I fudge it, like as I kind of have like going outside the lines here, I can touch it up with a little bit of concealer later and nobody will be any the wiser. So I'm just blending all those colors together. Now I find that I have lost a lot of that pinky kind of tone that I had originally, but that's just because I put so much color over top. My eyes do not match right now. Oh well. Whatever. I'm not perfect. I kind of suck at makeup more than I'm really good at it. I have more bad days than I have good days. It's just who I am as a person, so sorry. Hope you guys still kind of like watching. So I just added a little bit more of that pink just to bring it back in a bit. I also just stuck it over there, which is great. I'm going to just tap now. Honestly, this is not going well for me. Like I said, hopefully I can fix it with the rest of the makeup. So I am just going to use my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liner. This is not, that was my eyebrow pencil. This is not new at all. You'll have seen this a million times. I'm going to go off camera to do it because every time I try and do it on camera, it just turns into a disaster. And even without doing it on camera, it still turned into a disaster. I ended up doing this line first and it got way thicker than I meant for it to. So rather than wash it off, redo everything, I said, oh well, we'll just have a thicker eyeliner day, and I just matched it to the other side. But man, like the bags under my eyes are brutal right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. You probably can. I know there's a lot of you out there that like to pick on me or whatever. I'll talk about that later. I'm planning on putting up like a more serious chat video about something that I kind of realized when I was down in the Dominican, and I hate to put like a negative vibe on my channel, but I think it needs to be said because it did really not affect me, but like made me think a lot. So I'll be putting that up later. Keep an eye out for that if you don't want to watch it. Whatever. It's not makeup related. It's more life chats related. So we'll kind of get to that. But anyway, I know the bags under my eyes are horrible. I know that like I am tanned from here down. That's because I was really good about putting sunscreen on my face and not so much anywhere else on my body when I was down there. But yeah, anyway, let's keep moving on. Ugh. If you're new to my channel, I ramble sometimes, most of the time. I would say I apologize for that, but I really don't because I do that in my regular life too. So for foundation, I'm going to try my NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. The one thing I hate about this, two things. I've tried this a couple times before. First thing I don't like is I didn't realize when I bought it that it doesn't have a pump. You have to buy the pump separately, which I have not done yet, so I gotta do that. Second thing that drives me nuts is that when I screw the cap on, it doesn't go like perfectly square anymore. And if I try and crank it perfectly square, I can like hear the glass or the plastic start cracking. So I said, screw it, I'll just leave it, but it is bothering me. So this thing you've seen a million times. I'm just gonna put a little bit in here. Too much. Okay. This is why I wish I had a pump, because I don't like wasting a lot of product, and I feel like I just put a ton in there, way more than I meant to. Oh well, I'm actually just gonna stick that on my face because whatever. And the other thing I am going to try new, I have this NARS Laguna Liquid Bronzer. I love their normal bronzer, the Laguna stuff. I've had okay luck with this so far. You're supposed to either mix it in with foundation or use it kind of on its own. So I'm going to just mix it in a little bit here just to darken up my foundation a little. Because like I said, I do have a tan over most of my body, just not my whole body. And I'm going to leave it at that. Originally, I was going to also add some Cover FX Dewdrops, but I kind of want to just see how these two perform as a set together. I did not put a ton of bronzer in there because I am going to bronze later. Also, I am one of the few people out there that still likes to use a brush to do their foundation. But see, that's what I meant about I can fix the line around my eye to however I really want it to be. Because it was like all over the place, and now it's like more toned down. And if ultimately I went over it too far, I can add more shadow later and fix it up. So I've used this foundation a few times. I've had good and bad experience with it, to be honest. I think the first time I used it, I really liked it. I do like a more sheer foundation. I'm not into super full coverage because I do have such dry skin. I find that it just sort of picks those dry patches on me and it cakes there. Whereas doing it this way, I can get like a smooth canvas. It's, you know, obvious I have foundation on, but not super obvious that I caked it on, if that makes any sense, which I don't like to do. So my good experience was this. It went really good the first time I used it. I think I did it with a brush. I think the second time I used it, I did it with a brush and it looked really streaky and oily. But I think honestly, I might have mixed it with like my dewdrops or something and I just didn't agree with it. Because that obviously won't go with every foundation, just most of my foundation. So I think that was the problem. But this time, just looking at it, I'm feeling pretty happy about it. It's not streaking like crazy. It's not looking really cakey. I think the addition of the little bit of bronzer, I think next time maybe I'll add another little pump of it just to get a bit of a deeper color. because that just means less bronzer I have to do later, but for now, that's fine. Another thing you guys will have seen a million times before, this is not a new product, is my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I ended up breaking this out of the box. I said I wasn't going to because I had a bunch of new ones I wanted to try out and see how they worked, but when I went on my trip, I wanted one that I knew would consistently work for me, that I trusted. So this one is my favorite, other than my MAC Pro Longwear. And the reason I didn't bring that was because it's a little more finicky to use. It does have a pump on it, and also it is glass. And I think this one is plastic. If it is glass, it's better made than that one because I have dropped one of those before and it shattered on me. So I did not want to be dealing with that while I was away. So I just didn't bring it. But ultimately, sorry, this is just my brow pencil. It's my MAC Brow Sculpt Pencil in the shade Fling. Ultimately, when I went down there, though, like, the first time I went to the Dominican, I guess it would have been last January. Not the one that just passed, like this year, but January of 2017? Yeah, 2017. That one, I brought makeup and I never wore it. Like, not once. And then I went to Mexico in November of 2017 and I didn't bring makeup and I wished I had brought it. So I kind of hit this point where I said, like, do I really need to bring it? You know, am I going to wear it down there? And I wore everything I brought. I played with both eyeshadow palettes. I wore most of the lipsticks at least once. I did not wear my super bright Shan XO one, but I would have, but it just never came up to match a dress or something like that, so I didn't wear it. But I did wear it every single day, and I ultimately think it came down to, like, what kind of a trip I was on, because the first time I went to the Dominican, I did go with all boys, and, you know, even though my ex-boyfriend at the time, or I guess he wasn't my ex at the time, my boyfriend at the time, now my ex, was with me, I didn't want to be, like, super dolled up and girly and stuff like that, knowing that the boys probably didn't care. And then I just sort of took that forward with me when I went away with my family to Mexico in November and realized, like, oh, my sister has makeup with her. Like, I could have done it kind of thing at night. So with just going with Tom, like, he doesn't care if I wear makeup, but he likes it when I wear makeup. He thinks it looks nice. So, like, he will sit and wait for me to do it and, like, get all prettied up and stuff like that. So we would do that at night. Our routine ended up sort of being, like, we would wake up at, like, 6:30. We'd be down on the beach before 7, grabbing our chairs. We would go for breakfast, and then we would go back down to the beach, spend the whole day at the beach, do lunch down by the beach. And then around 4 or 5 or so, we would boot up to our pool next to our room, hang out there till 6 or 7, and then we would go shower and then go for dinner around 8:30 and then just kind of do whatever for the night. We ended up with a seriously good routine that, like, we finally got down on, like, the 5th day, and then we left a couple days later. So I think next time we might go for 2 weeks, but we'll see. Another new product, I just found this today. I didn't even know this existed. This is the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. So I have the normal one. This is the glow one. So it's kind of got a little bit of a shimmer to it, which for me is perfect because I do like to have a glowier foundation. I don't love glitter, but when I swatched it, I didn't find it too overwhelming. So let's kind of hope that my initial impressions were right. I'm just peeling the little stickum off of it right now. And I'm going to get, oh shoot, I just dumped it all over my hand. That's okay, I can pick it up off my hand. I got the translucent one. There was another one. I'm just going to tip it into here just so I have some product out. There was another one. I think it was in medium translucent or something like that, or medium glow. It does look darker than my normal translucent one, but like I said, I did try it in the store and it is translucent, so whatever. It just kind of has like can you guys see that compared to like there? It just has a shimmer in it, which I just thought was perfect for me. And I was actually talking to the girl at the Sephora checkout today, and she knew this product was coming, but she didn't know it had released yet. And she, like me, has very, very dry skin. So she finds that she has to use a lot of moisturizing products. But then once she goes throughout her day, she gets super like greasy, which is crazy because or shiny, I think she said, just because her skin's trying to like soak up everything that she's got. So she was really excited to try this because like me, she likes to look a little bit more dewy and glowy, but she finds that the dewy and glowy products make her skin look really, really oily. So I don't know. I don't have that problem. I kind of wish, well, no, I probably don't wish I had that problem, but like I said, I do have super, super dry skin. So whatever. There we go. Normally, I would actually bronze my whole face, but I'm actually kind of really happy with the tone I have going of my entire face. So for once in my life, I think I'm only going to bronze in the places you're supposed to, like in that butterfly kind of a pattern, which is crazy for me because if you've ever been here before, and if you haven't, I'll tell you now, I normally just take it and do it everywhere because I like to be super bronze, super glowy, whatever. So I've got my Too Faced Mr. Right brush. Again, this is not a new product, just new to me. This is the Too Faced Sweetheart bronzer. I was watching Shan XO do her like bronzer declutter and she kept it saying it was one of her favorites. And I love a shimmery bronzer and I love Too Faced, and I can't use like their chocolate bar bronzers, or not chocolate bar, but they're like chocolate Soleil bronzers because they have cocoa powder in them and I don't trust that. It's the same reason I actually can't use, I said I wasn't going to do all over my face, and then I kind of did it anyway, whatever. I'll leave the sort of here open and glowy. Yeah, so, and ultimately, ooh, I just gouged my finger in it. I can't use them, like the chocolate bar palettes and stuff like that, and I'm also having the same problem I'm finding now with like tree nuts since I discovered I was kind of allergic to those, so stressful time in my life. I'm allergic to everything, and that means I have to be super careful with what kind of makeup I pick up. Which sucks because nobody wants to be careful with makeup. You just want to have fun and get whatever you want and get whatever looks nice and whatever. For blush today, I'm going to be using this Note blush. This is in Desert Rose. Again, this is one I've tried once before, so I want to. It's super pigmented though, which is not my favorite thing, but it's not too bad. That's a little bit darker than I intended on going. So what I'm going to do is blend it out. Blend it out with this brush. There we go. I'm not a big, like, I have a lot of blush and I like a lot of blush, but I don't love super dark blush on myself. I just think it looks a little bit harsh on me, maybe because I do have more fair features. Like, I have... It's hard for me to be like, I have blue eyes or green eyes because they like to change on me. So I'll say I have light colored eyes. I have blonde hair. My natural skin tone is pretty fair. So, and my lips aren't that dark. I'm sure you guys have noticed. So like, I don't like doing crazy blush. I think it looks better on deeper skin tones personally. So I don't like going crazy with it. For highlight today, we're going to do a combo of two. So I've got this Urban Decay Naked Skin highlight. This one is in Sin. I picked up a few of these. And so far, I really like them. So I'm just going to kind of use that down my nose. Like that. And then I'm going to stick it in my Cupid's bow as well. I've been actually not using so much liquid foundation here because I just find that here it looks okay because you're trying to get it super centered down your nose. And here it looks okay because you can blend it out along your lip line. But whenever I put it here, I just find that you see the stark line and it just looks kind of dumb. So I've been sort of taking back from that and just using powder there. And for a powder one, and this is probably going to be super intense, I just got this Kat Von D Metal Crushers Extreme Highlighter. This one's in Gamma Ray. They had a bunch. There was like, oh, like, look at this. Oh my God. I'm not normally into glittery highlighters, but like something about this just called to me, and it looks like cream in the pan, but it is powder, I promise you. When I saw it, they had it in like blue, purple, and like a darker purpley pink kind of purple. So blue, purple, green, this color, there was like a white and a yellowy kind of color. I thought that this one of all of them, even though they're crazy, would be the most natural, hence why I have this one. Now I cannot find my... There it is, highlighter brush, and those are going to fall in about 2 seconds. Let's be careful. So I've got, this is my Natasha Denona highlighting brush. It's my favorite highlighting brush. it doesn't pick up too much, which is kind of nice because it is a little bit like thinner, sparsed apart. Let's just see. Holy Moses. That is a lot of glitter. Do you guys see that? That is some serious glow, which is fine. It's kind of the look I was thinking of going with today, was a more glowy one. It's kicking up a lot of powder. And I'm actually like, even in buying this, I was like, I'm probably not going to like it. I'm actually surprised how much I like that. Like, do you guys see how glowy that is? Holy Moses. I didn't even know these came out until I saw them today in the store. That's awesome. All right, so two more things we have, well, three more things. So for a mascara, we're going to use this Elizabeth Arden Standing Ovation mascara. I have tried their mascaras before and liked them. So let's just see how this one goes. I actually was thinking about putting false lashes on, but the look I ended up with somehow ended up being a more natural glow kind of look. So I think I'm not, well, I could. This video is also super long. I apologize for that. It's been a while since I've just hung out with you guys, and I felt like a talking and sharing. Because a lot, like, I wish I could hang out with you guys, like, in person and just, like, sit here and be doing my makeup with you sitting next to me doing yours and stuff like that. Like, that would be really fun. I was going to say, if there's any YouTubers that are in my area, I live in and around Toronto, and want to hang out and, like, do a collab and do makeup together, that would be a blast. I love filming. I love filming with other people. I love hanging out with other people. So if there's anybody out there that wants to do that, let me know down below, because I'm all about making new friends, and that would just be a ton of fun. So for a lip color today, I just got these, and I've never tried either before. So Too Faced Melted Liquid Lipstick. I can't believe I've never tried one before. This is a nude, and this Melted Matte is in Child Star. I think they look virtually the same, to be completely honest. Let's do this one because I trust the applicator a little bit more. It's like a sponge tip. So let's try that one. Well, that made my lips kind of disappear, so I think that might be too light for the color, for the look I have today. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think that this is any darker. The nub's coming off. I don't think that this is any darker. So let me just see if I can find like a lip topper or something that will just deepen this up. I'm sure I've got one. Can you hear that? Like, it's not like I don't have a few. Ooh, that mattified super quick. That's really nice. Why have I never tried any of these before? I think I was always afraid because I'd heard bad things about like the melted latex. So I think I got a little worried about that. And ultimately, now that I've sat here longer, I actually don't mind that this is a lighter color. So I think I'm going to leave it because I think it looks kind of nice. Last thing we have to do is set. For that, I'm going to be using this Tarte Ready Set Radiant Spray. It came in my BoxyCharm, and I've just been sort of trying it out lately. So we'll see how that goes. Now I remember why I don't like this. Why? But we just did it, so that's fine. Normally I would like smoke up my under eye, but like I said, I kind of like the way this look ended up, so I think we're gonna call that a done for today. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.